We work so you can play.
MiniWarGaming gaming demos!
Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com. This video is going to be an introduction to a game called Firestorm Armada by Spartan Games. This is a spaceship battle game, and I'm really enjoying it. I really like the game. I like the models. I like how quickly you can get into it, and the simplicity of it, which allows you to learn the rules pretty quickly and really enjoy the dynamics of the game. And so there's a lot of subtle tactics involved in this game. So I want to show you a basic overview. We'll do a few other videos as well on how to play so you can see how it works. And we'll talk about the starter fleets and talk about the different products that Spartan Games puts out. And of course, all these products are available for sale at store.miniwargaming.com. So on this table, I have all the basics spread out. The starter fleets that you can buy, the rulebook, and the things that come in the starter fleet boxes. So, as in the War Machine videos, if you watch those, I will tell you a disclaimer. This does not replace the rulebook. We will be going over the basic mechanics, but if you really want to play the game, you will need to first off buy the rulebook. And there's only one book that you have to get. They don't have any army books right now, because when you buy the starter fleets, it comes with a card that gives you all the stats. So it's simple enough at this point that you only need one book, which is the rule book. So make sure you buy it. And also, to start the game, you need to get a starter fleet. Now there's a few different armies or races. Some of them are human and some of them are alien. But they all have their own starter fleet. And every starter fleet is pretty much the same. That comes with one large ship, a battleship. And it comes with a squadron of 3 cruisers. So you can see on both sides, this is the Aquan Prime. And over here we have the Dintrenzi. They're cruisers and battleship. And they come with 6 frigates. And unfortunately I broke the base on this one already. Actually I didn't break it, I lost the one piece. I gotta find it, it's in my office somewhere. And this is the Dintrenzi frigates. Those are Dintrenzi. Sorry, this is the Aquan Prime frigates. And so there's 2 groups of 3. Everything works in squadrons. They don't have to stay together, but they get bonuses if they're within a certain distance of each other. They can actually link their fire together so they can increase their firepower when they're trying to hit bigger targets, which is really important in this game because the smaller targets have a harder time affecting the larger targets. And so every starter fleet comes with those that you see. And it actually is enough out of the box to play. A lot of other games like War Machine and Hordes, they have their starter sets. Warhammer has the Battle Forces. And they're a good start, but they're not really enough to play. There's not enough points in there. Whereas this is actually enough to get a good game in. And then there's obviously all the other ships that you can get, carriers and other ships as well to supplement it. In each of the starter fleets, you also get a couple of other things. You get this card that I showed you earlier. On one side, it has all the stats for the 3 types of ships that you get. It also has the stats for a carrier, which does not come in the starter set. It has the stats for the different fighters, or the wings as they call them. And on the back it has the assembly guide. The Aquan Prime being really simple as they're all just one piece. And so you just have to clip off any excess and file down any mold lines. Whereas the Drenzi, there's a bit more to them. Their battleship is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. Compared to other games though, this is really quick assembly and really easy to put together and really easy to paint. You can put some effort into painting them, but even then it's not going to take you a long time to get all your starter fleet painted up. And then from there you can expand however you like. Each of the starter sets also comes with a card. I've already cut out the card. It comes with a bunch of tokens. There's 3 different numbered tokens, red, green, and blue, representing hull damage, crew damage, and also your marines, which you can use to board other vessels or repel invaders as well. It comes with a bunch of other tokens, such as ones that show that you're on fire, or ones that show you're adrift, or ones that show other damage. What this does is replaces the need to have a card where you mark damage on it. Instead, you just put the counter on the base of the ship to represent the different damage that it has. So this ship is on fire by putting that counter on there. So they're able to abstract the game that way, so there's not as much paperwork. But it does mean that you have to have all these tokens nearby. But the starter fleets come with what you need. They also come with the tokens for escape pods, bombers, fighters, interceptors. Their fighters, their wings, they don't actually have models for because they would be so tiny. Instead, they just use tokens. And so these tokens, it doesn't matter which way they're facing. Unlike the ships, they can move whatever direction they want at any time. That's to represent their agility and ability to move around the battlefield faster. And each fleet comes with different colors on those fighters, interceptors, and bombers. Like you can see, this is a Detrenzi one. It has red. And then over on this end, we have the Aquid Prime, which is blue. And that way, when they're on the battlefield, you can see them here. You'll actually be able to distinguish the different colors. And you can actually, on the Spartan Games website, which I believe is spartangames.co.uk, they have all of these tokens available for download on PDF. So you don't actually have to buy the starter fleets to get these. So if you are wanting to collect your own army in a completely different fashion than this, although I don't recommend it because this is a good core to any army. But let's say that you did want to go out and do something completely different. You could go onto the Spartan Games website and actually download the PDF of these tokens and print it off yourself and use those. Although this is nicer because it comes on laminated cardstock, which makes them a little more durable. You can also get these cards for free on the Spartan Games website. I believe it comes with the rulebook as well. It details the critical hits on one side, which we'll get into in a later video. And on this side, it gives you the basic overview of the rules so that you are able to have it handy instead of having to look through the rulebook. The rulebook itself actually has all these templates in the back. It has templates for asteroids, for planets that look like oranges, for a big explosion marker. You can do both sides of it. This is a really important template. It's for your movement. This is how ships are able to turn to represent the space movement. So you can't just turn on the spot. The bigger the ship they are, the harder they are to maneuver. We actually created one. Dave created this out of foam board. It's just a piece of foam board cut to the same dimensions. And then I think that's just a thumbtack, or it might be the top of a glue bottle just stuck on it. So you use this for your movement. I will show you in another video how the movement works, but basically you use the bases, and as they turn, they have to follow that turn. So if you want to keep turning, you put it again and you turn again. So they move at 45-degree turns. You can move at less than 45 degrees, but they have to move every time they turn. So the larger ships, they have to go around a larger angle in order to be able to turn. So they're harder to maneuver, whereas the fighters and the small frigates, they can turn really fast and basically get wherever they need to go. So it's neat how it abstracts the space movement to show that there's that inertia and everything else that you have to compensate for as you're moving around in bigger ships. So they do a good job with that, I believe. And of course, this is basically the card that I already cut up that comes with the starter fleets, all the different tokens. And then this is the fighters. So you can see the different colors. They have purple, yellow, green, red, and some sort of aqua color. And these are mines, so the larger ships can drop mines behind them. And then here's more templates for asteroids. And this is sample movement on the back. So a really good resource. Definitely need a rule book. You'll want to, don't cut them out of the book, obviously. You can go online and get them on a PDF, or you can photocopy the pages. They give you permission in the book to photocopy for personal use. And so use this as a template. You need a lot of D6s, recommend about 20 per player at least. So it's kind of like Warhammer in the sense that you need a lot of D6s. Everything is done with D6s to represent how many hits and damage you get, but it's really streamlined, so you don't roll the hit, roll the wound, roll armor, roll all this. It's just a single roll to see how much damage you're able to inflict overall. And then the ships can respond with some rolls if they have shielding or point defense weapons to shoot down torpedoes and everything else. And this is everything you need, basically. So if you want to get started, get a starter fleet and the rulebook, and make sure you have a friend who gets a starter fleet as well. You can share the same rulebook if you like. All this is available at store.miniwargaming.com. Look forward to more Firestorm Armada videos as we do sample games and battle reports eventually, as well as we get more and more people into the game and the club, and also an overview of each of the different armies. This is Matthew from MiniWarGaming. Happy wargaming.